Hi, once again, I'm going to go to this awkward stage where I'm not sure if you can see me or hear me, but I'm just going to move around until that little dial stops spinning. Okay, so today is Tuesday. Welcome to Tuesday. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It is 4:30 here? Yeah. I hope you're having a good day so far and a good week. Um, yeah, so today I was listening to Donald Miller's book, Building a Story Brand. If you haven't read it, listen to it. It's really good, especially if you want to learn how to do your messaging yourself. By the way, if you can hear stuff in the background, my apologies. I'm at the co-working space where I like to spend a few days a week. Anyway, so I've been reading Donald Miller books, Building a Story Brand. If you haven't read it or listened to it, it's a really good, very practical, simple way to build your message. And the chapters I was listening to today reminded me of something that people tend to leave out and that bookkeepers tend to struggle with in messaging. Because one of the things that I hear the most from my clients is, um, I feel like my content is boring. I feel like I can't get myself across. Why would anyone care about um, social media posts about financial stuff, right? Um, there's a way of talking about it that makes people care because you are providing a service that they need for their business, for their life, for their livelihood. But you have to help them understand. You have to speak in a way that hits them in a way they understand why reconciliation, account receivable reports, and things of that nature matter for their life. So we're going to dive into that. And yeah, let's get started. Feel free to drop any comments. Say hi if you're here. And if you're watching later, drop a hashtag replay for me. Yeah, just let me know how I can help. So, all right, so it sounds kind of strange, but you really need to get into the primal needs of your clients, right? Um, I just saw a bookkeeper post something today where she was like, I'm advertising my services in groups, but no one's responding. They may like her page, but she'll list her services. I reconcile, I do things every month. And as a bookkeeper, you understand how that helps a business, but non-financial people don't understand it, don't feel it. So what you have to do is think back to more like primal things. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of If you Google it, you'll find like images on really fast. But the idea is it's a 5-level pyramid. Okay, so meaning it has a wider bottom and it comes up to a peak. So each level is a little bit smaller, but they stack on top of each other, right? So here at the bottom are people's most basic needs. Your air, water, food, shelter, warmth, rest, clothing, reproduction, those things. Very basic needs. On the second level, it's safety needs, personal security, employment, um, money for, and resources, health, property, safety. That's level 2. So once you have like air and water, then you can move to being safe and being healthy. Um, Level 3, love and belonging. These are psychological needs. So friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection. Level 4, so second from the top, is esteem, also a psychological need. Respect, status, recognition, strength and freedom, prestige, those kinds of things. Now, at the very tippy top of the pyramid, what we don't get to until everything else is taken care of is self-actualization, self-fulfillment. So achieving your potential, being the best you can be, achieving your dreams, things of that nature. So it sounds weird that I'm telling you this when you're just like, I just want to post about my bookkeeping business and get clients. What does someone caring about their water matter for my business and my content? Here's where it ties together. These are the things that people feel and need on a primal level. So you have to connect your message and your offerings to what people need, okay? So I'll give you some examples. So once again, at the bottom, we have the physiological needs, air, water, food, shelter. With bookkeeping, you can tap into that a little bit where you can say, I help make sure that you're able to get sleep at night. I help make sure that you're able to keep food on the table by keeping your business running, okay? Safety needs, that's level 2. So once again, that's like employment, safety, security. Safety is a big one for bookkeepers. You can say, like, I want to help keep your business safe. I want to keep you from having to worry. I want to make sure that you have a job. I want to make sure that you have an income, and I can help you do that as a bookkeeper. And you don't say it exactly like this, but I'm saying that these are the values that get infused into your message. Because these are the things that we feel a need for, right? Okay, up to level 3, love and belonging. So friendship, intimacy, family. Again, think about it from a bookkeeping perspective. Um, try and think through it if you can. How would you connect your bookkeeping to family? The one that comes to mind for me is, I want you to have more time with your family. I want you to have more time with your friends. I want you to have more time to build in your relationships and in your social life and not spend it on bookkeeping, right? Okay, so you keep building it. That's a pretty common one that I see in bookkeeper content. So, okay, level 4, esteem. So respect and status, feeling of accomplishment. Yeah. If your clients are all entrepreneurs and business owners, then talk about that. Why they start their business. They wanted to create something profitable. They wanted to build a business that's theirs, that they could be proud of. It's got a lot of, chismo isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. It's just like, there's a pride in it. So help them say, I'll help you make a business that you're proud of and don't have to worry about, right? See how you're tying all the things together? And then right there to the top of the pyramid, once all this other stuff is taken care of, there's that level of self-actualization, self-fulfillment, be the most you can be. And this is where you can bring in language, like helping you achieve your dreams, helping you achieve your goals, become the best you can be. I want your business to be as successful as possible as your CFO, as your bookkeeper, things of that nature. These are the languages you can do. And here's something to keep in mind when it comes to COVID. A lot of people are struggling or feeling the burn a little bit in their business. So this top portion right now, remember, this pyramid builds up. This top part of the pyramid about being the best you can be and stuff like that. People are probably not as focused on that. Some are, but people are probably focused a little more on a safety level. Like, is my business going to make it? Am I going to have food on the table? So try and keep that in mind situationally. But no matter what you do, try and keep this simple pyramid of needs in mind. Because once again, you're trying to talk to them in a way that they understand how your services meet their needs. That's the point, right? You want to help them meet their needs. And those are some ways you can do it. So I have examples that I have from the Donald Miller book. Once again, if you have the time to listen to it, great. If not, I'll just distill this part for you really quick, sorry. All right, so I want to get into the types of problems. So once again, this is all stuff that you can like mix and match and add in. You don't have to cover all of these things, in a single post or something like that. But this is what makes your content effective, right? So every story needs a villain. The story of your business, the story you have with your clients needs a villain. So this could, what's the Voldemort to your Harry Potter? What's the Batman or the Joker to your Batman, right? There are a lot of things that could play the villain. It could be the tax man. It could be Uncle Sam and the government. It could be you don't have enough time. It could be, things of that nature. Make sure you pick one bad guy that you're helping defend them against. There's a lot more about this, but you are the guide and your client is the hero, and you're helping them guide them through this villain. So, what is the villain when it comes to what you do to help them? What is the root cause to the problems that they work with you for, okay? Now, there are 3 levels of problems. Again, in the StoryBrand book, it's really good. And this is related to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs and stuff, right? There are 3 problems that you need to address, and most people only stay on the top one, especially bookkeepers, because you're very analytical, and I love it. You guys are so good at what you do. But there are 3 levels when it comes to problems, as far as business problems. There's the external problem, there's the internal problem, and there's the philosophical problem. I'm going to go through all three and pull out bookkeeper-specific examples. That way you know what I'm talking about. And also bring out examples that Donald Miller used in his book, which were super helpful. All right, so if you can present a solution to all three levels in your content, fantastic. It's really, really, really powerful stuff. So external is, what is a problem your customers deal with as it relates to your product or services? Okay, so you help them catch up their books, you help them make sure their taxes are done on time, you make sure that their cash flow is okay, but that's all very external. That's all very, like, I don't feel that. And again, that seems kind of weird to think about from a financial perspective. Why do I need to make them feel the importance of reconciliation, right? And most people stay on the external level, all right? What you want to do is you want to make sure you get down to the internal level. Remember that villain, that root cause? How are they making your customer feel? Now, I've talked about this before in like other lives of mine, where you take your external problem, and the important thing you do, an easy way to get it from external to internal, is to ask, so what? Okay, so an external problem you solve is getting them caught up for taxes. Well, what will happen if they don't get caught up for taxes? So what? Okay? And then you're getting to like deeper levels, more emotional, felt levels. If they don't file their taxes, if they don't have fees, they may feel like a failure. They may have trouble putting food on the table. And do you see how that also pulls back to those Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Food, safety, resources, things of that nature. Okay? So problem level 1, external. Problem level 2, internal, where you ask the so what question. And then this one's also kind of funky. The third level, even deeper than that, is philosophical, okay? And not as hard as it sounds to address, right? So the question you need to ask yourself is, why is it just plain wrong for your customers to be burdened by this problem, this villain, this root cause of their anxiety? Why does this story matter overall in the epic of humanity? The easiest way to do it is like, you shouldn't have to blank, or you should be able to blank. You almost turn it into like a moral thing. So let me go through some examples that he gave in the book, just in general for other businesses, and then I'll go into what it looks like, from more from a bookkeeping content perspective. Okay. All right. So once again, we've got these 3 levels, and we're looking for a villain, right? So Tesla is a really good example if you guys like Tesla cars. So the example here with Tesla is one, who's the villain? Gas guzzling and inferior technology, right? That's the bad guy. That's the villain. It's the cause of all the problems, okay? Okay, so what's the external problem? Why do people come to Tesla? They want a car, okay? I need a way to get to and from work. But there's an internal problem where someone wants to be an early adopter of new technology. They want to be, they're always the one getting, the newest version of the iPhones and stuff like that. They want to be an early adopter. So that's an internal problem. It's being solved with this Tesla car. Here's the philosophical one. Remember, this is an ought. This is a moral element for the solution. So what is the philosophical problem that Tesla solves? My choice of car ought, my choice of car should help save the environment. Okay, see the should, see the ought? So that's the philosophical level that Tesla appeals to. Here's another good one, Nespresso. So Nespresso is a really big thing here in Israel. I don't know if you guys have an espresso machine, but this is also a really good illustration. What's the villain for Nespresso? At-home coffee machines that make bad coffee. That's the bad guy. And so your external problem is you want to be able to make coffee at home that tastes good. That's the external problem. That's why you're looking up coffee making machines. But you also have this internal problem, this so what, this that appeals to, like, again, that hierarchy of needs that I talked about before. I want my coffee to feel sophisticated. I don't want to just have crappy coffee. I want to have nice coffee that makes me feel like I'm sitting in an Italian cafe or something like that. So And here's the philosophical thing. Remember, you should use ought in this phrase. I shouldn't have to be a barista to make a good coffee at home, right? I shouldn't. So that's where it gets pulled in, okay? Um, okay, so as a different example, The King's Speech is another good one. From the philosophical part of things, it's a movie. So once again, this is all story-based stuff. You're trying to tell a compelling story that helps them feel what you can do for their business, right? Stories are obviously in movies as well. In the movie The King's Speech, the external problem was the king had a stutter that he needed to fix for a speech, right? And the bigger philosophical need was he needed his speech ought to be compelling enough to oppose the Nazis. See the moral element, the ought, the should. Again, it probably feels a little strange trying to figure that out from, I just do bookkeeping, I just do reconciliations. But you're solving problems, you're helping people, right? And you're just helping them understand what problem you're solving, right? So, okay, once again, we had the villain, and we had the three problems: external, internal, and philosophical, right? Okay. So with the villain, what is the root cause of the problem? It could be lack of time. It could be lack of financial training. It could be, Uncle Sam making, and the government asking all of these ridiculous things. It could be the IRS, the big bad IRS taxman coming to threaten your business, something like that. So that can be the villain. Whatever it is, pick one. This is a very important thing, and I say this and emphasize it because I am on bookkeeper websites with some regularity, and bookkeepers are usually so detail-oriented to the point when they're trying to bring across a message. You try and give all of the messages in one spot. So the most common way I see this done is they'll have 18 tabs as far as like menus, and all the menus have drop-down menus, and it's an overwhelming amount of information. It shuts my brain off and is too much. So when it comes to your content, to your posts, pick one villain. Pick just Uncle Sam. Pick just the IRS taxman. People like clarity when it comes to their message. So don't try and solve all the problems at once. Don't try and tackle all of the bad guys at once. Pick one, just one, okay? So you have your villain. Pick your villain. What are some of the external problems your clients are going through? Okay, their financial records are outdated, and they're getting further behind. They don't have time to get them caught up. They don't understand their business's financial reports. They have taxes due, or they need to be caught up for a loan application, things of that nature. Okay? That's the external stuff that they need. So those are like the tasks they need done. So you kind of have to ask the so what, the emotional, the more inner level, right? So what? Why does it matter to get this stuff updated and ready to go and ready to file, right? I want my business to be safe and healthy. Once again, we're going back to that pyramid of needs. I want safety. I want resources, right? Not in turn, I don't want to have to worry about losing my business. Also draws back to that Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I want to make sure my family is secure. I want to make sure that my business is successful. I want to grow a profitable business. Those are like the internal needs for why you want your business they want their business finances to be good, because they want these results. They don't care as much about you reconciling line for line as the result it gets them that they really feel. And what's funny is the philosophical part of things in your messaging is actually very, very simple. So keep this in mind when it comes to your next post. Just take this phrase essentially and repurpose it. It's not hard. Remember, we're using shouldn't, ought, kind of morality language. Here's one. You shouldn't have to have a financial degree or training program to run your business. You shouldn't. Or you shouldn't have to worry about losing the business you built because of a date on a calendar and a few numbers in a spreadsheet. You should not have to worry about that. And also, you ought to feel safe. in the growth and health of the business you made, okay? All this morality stuff. So once again, don't pick a million things in one post. Pick one thing at a time and just follow the track, okay? Think about that Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I don't even know if I'm drawing a pyramid or a square right now. And make sure that you're addressing like those needs in some way, right? Make sure that you're not just listing your services. Make sure that you're drilling down into their deeper needs, and make sure that you get that philosophical part too. The bigger reasons, the ought, the morality, the way the business fits into the bigger plan in the world. People want to be a part of something bigger, so give them a message that helps them be part of something bigger, right? So this will go a long way to helping your content be more connected and make more of a difference and get more of a response. If you add the stuff into your messaging, it will be a lot more effective and get a lot more responses than just throwing your business link into a Facebook group and saying your services and saying, hey, who wants to work with me? I would love it if that were easy, and there are some days, I promise you, even as a writer, there's some days I wish it was that easy. But even if it's not that easy, there are ways to write your message where it can still be very effective. So just keep these things in mind, make a checklist, print out a copy of that, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, whatever you got to do, okay? So throwing in here at the end, this is something like what I write for my bookkeepers is a content membership. So if you have a hard time posting regularly on your social media feed, I have a $97 a month membership where you get really good social posts that deals with exactly this kind of stuff, the external, the internal, the psychological needs, okay? To really make people respond. And people who use it regularly, they get more calls, they get more clients, they get more interactions. The content works. So if you struggle with that and don't feel confident, reach out to me or use the link in the videos there. I'm also starting this week to offer content strategy sessions. So all of the stuff that I yak about here on Facebook Live, I can work on with you one-on-one over a period of several sessions to really help you get dialed in on your messaging and able to keep replicating it without me having to write it for you, okay? So anyways, you know how to find me. I will be here next week, and I will be live in my Facebook group tomorrow. The link to that is also in the profile. If you ever have any questions, just let me know. You know how to find me. Shoot me a message here on Facebook. Yeah, and I'd love to help you. Anyways, that's what I got today. So yeah, go out there, talk to your clients in a way that they feel the benefit that you give to them, and yeah, go fill it with some content. Go get them. All right. I'm gonna go. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.